So today we're covering 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Venu Gita chapter. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 21, text number 10. Vrindavanam Sakibhuvo Vitanoti Kirtim Yadevaki Sutapadam Bhujalabda Lakshmi Govinda Venum Anumatta Mayur Nityam Brikshadri Sav Avatar Avaratanya Tanya Samasta Sattvam. Recite it one more time. Vrindavanam Sakibhuvo Vitanoti Kirtam Ya Devaki Sutapadam Bhujalabda Lakshmi Govinda Venum Anumatta Mayura Nityam Prikshadri Sad Avatanya Samasta Sattvam. Oh friend, Vrindavan is spreading the glories of the earth, having obtained the treasure of the lotus feet of Krishna, the son of Devaki. The peacocks dance madly when they hear Govinda's flute. And when the other creatures see them from the hilltops, they all become stunned. Oh friend, Vrindavan is spreading the glory of the earth, having obtained the treasure of the lotus feet of Krishna, the son of Devaki. The peacocks dance madly when they hear Govinda's flute. And when the other creatures see them from the hilltops, they all become stunned. I think we should do it again, one more time. Oh, friend, Vrindavan is spreading the glory of the earth. It's increasing its fame, having obtained the treasure of the lotus feet of Krishna, the son of Devaki. The peacocks dance madly when they hear Govinda's flute. And when the other creatures see them from the hilltops, they all become stunned. Purport by disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Sridhar Swami explains that because activities such as those described in this verse do not appear in any other world, the earth is unique. In fact, the earth glories are being spread by wonderful Vrindavan because it is the place of Krishna's pastimes. So if you were to go to Vaikuntha, Krishna has, he has 18 marks. No, is it 18? Who knows? How many marks does he have? He has special markings on the soles of his feet.
Krishna Daya Prabhu.
What's the number? He has 11 on one side and 7 on the other, something like that.
Krishna Daya Prabhu counted them all. Krishna Daya Prabhu, unmute, please.
Sorry, Prabhu, I'm not so sure about that.
So he has these special markings on his feet. But if if you go to Vaikuntha, he's always wearing golden shoes, and there's no goduli, there's no dust raised by the hoof prints of by the hooves of the cows and calves. So he does not put his footprints on the ground. He always has his shoes on, and there's nothing to put the prints on. It's described that the queens of Dwarka, they're constantly cleaning the perfectly clean place of the spiritual realm. So only in Vrindavan do you find this treasure of Krishna's his special padam ambuja, his special lotus feet footprints. We have these special markings on his feet. So all these are actual special features of Vrindavan. Now, Krishna does wear shoes in other places, like in Dwarka. Now, here's a question. What brand of shoes does Krishna wear? Tell us. Who can say? What's the brand?
He doesn't wear shoes.
He wears in Dwarka. That is also, his name is Krishna. What is the brand? Nike?
Golden brand.
No. First of all, who is Krishna's shoes? Who's the shoes of Krishna? Who becomes his chatra, his umbrella, his bed?
Balaram.
Balaram. So Balaram, he's actually the original servant of Krishna. The original servant. So how do you say original servant in Sanskrit? Adidas. Adidas. That's the brand that Krishna wears. Yeah. So in Vrindavan, he doesn't wear shoes. It's described that sometimes he wears some bedroom slippers, but outside, he's barefoot the whole time. And his footprints are such a treasure that no animal will ever step over his footprints. And so in the dust, the cow dung, all around the land, you'll find Krishna's beautiful footprints. And thus, this is spreading the special glories of this place, Vrindavan. Continuing the purport. The name Devaki also refers to Mother Yashoda. As stated in the Brihad Vishnu Purana, Dwe Namni. Dwe, what is that number? That's 2. Namni, 2 names. Nandaya Bhartaya, Yashoda Devaki cha, Devakiti cha. Ata Sakyam Adbhutatasya Devakya Saurajaya. So Devaki has 2, Yashoda has 2 names. It says Dwe Namni, Nanda Bhartaya. The wife of Nanda has Dwe Namni, has 2 names. Yashoda and Devaki. The wife of Nanda has 2 names, Yashoda and Devaki. And therefore, it was natural that she, the wife of Nanda, develop a friendship with Devaki, the wife of Surya. So they developed this friendship because they had the same name. It's described in the Nectar of Devotion that Krishna and Arjuna met at a certain pottery shop in what city was this? I have to look. They met in a certain city, and they actually their relationship was struck. They must have heard of each other because they're actually cousins, but this is the first time they met. You could say they met at Pottery Barn. So their relationship was struck by the fact that they looked very similar. Arjuna is also said to be dark complexion, just like Krishna. Yashoda too. Yashoda as well. Sometimes she's described as dark, and sometimes she's described as golden. And so here, their connection was struck by Just imagine Adi Purusha Prabhu is, he's always so nice meeting people. And then he meets somebody and that person says, "What's your name?" He says, "Oh, my name's Adi Purusha." And they're like, "Whoa." So nice. So he meets somebody with the same exact name. So we had Madhavananda Prabhu at our house about 4 or 5 years ago. And he told a story. I think I'm not sure if it is a story from one of the Goswami's literature, or it could just be some Vrindavan story, some kind of Brijbasi kind of folklore story. And he specifically came to tell this story as part of the reveal to our youngest child. So we have 2 kids, Vishaka and Ramananda, but we also have one semi-adopted daughter, Devaki. And so she's, prior to us moving, she was living with us. And actually not prior to us moving, but prior to her biological father, he got married. And his wife, she's a devotee and she has her own kids. And so she settled in with that family. But before that time, around the age of 7, he wanted her to know that actually my wife is not her biological mother. She didn't know that. So Madhavananda Prabhu came and he told the story about how the cowherd boys were teasing Krishna that Yashoda is not his mother. That they heard some rumor. Actually, everyone in Vrindavan, nobody sees. Actually, this verse here is the gopis are saying Devaki, but they're saying Devaki Sutta, that this is Yashoda. This has nothing to do with Devaki. Generally, there's no conception of any connection. Sometimes there's what is called Parikiya, that Krishna is he is owned by someone else. He is not mine. He's not Swakiya. He's taken by somebody else. But here, there's completely thinking this is Yashoda's child. But apparently there was some teasing that was going on. And then he led this pastime to see who was Krishna's actual mother. And so Krishna was performing a big yajna in Mathura or Dwarka. I think it was Mathura. And the Brijvasis, they didn't get an invitation, but they thought, well, we don't need an invitation. Who needs an invitation to see their child? They didn't think anything of it. And apparently there was some tension between the Brijvasis and the Mathuravasis. They weren't invited. And so when they came to the gate, there was some challenge. And Narada Muni appeared there. And we said, okay, we'll see who is actual mother. And they said, Devaki, you call for Krishna. Now this is not an earshot. This is in a faraway distance. You call for Krishna. And Krishna is sitting there. He's at the yajna ceremony. He's doing the yajna. And she's calling Krishna and Krishna and Krishna and nothing. And then Mother Yashoda, she calls Krishna. You know how she calls Krishna so many very sweet names. And she calls him so sweetly that Krishna immediately forms into a child and starts running, crying, running to jump on his mother's lap. And so after telling this story and after Madhavananda left, we told our little daughter Devaki that someone is in the same situation as Krishna, has also another mother, alleged other mother. And so that's how the reveal was given. So here's this is the purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains Krishna Lila as follows. In Vrindavan, the peacocks request Krishna, Govinda, make us dance. Krishna thus plays his flute, and they surround him in a circle and dance in time to the rhythm of his melody. And while they're standing in the midst of their dancing, he also sings and dances. So can you imagine this beautiful scene? Krishna is surrounded by peacocks, and they're dancing around him. What other animal can dance? The peacock is the king of dance. The cows, not really good dancers. The cuckoos, great singers, not good dancers. Only the peacock. He's got the great dancing skills. And he's saying, make us dance. You play and we will dance for your pleasure. Then those peacocks who are fully satisfied with this musical performance, out of gratitude, offer for his pleasure their own divine feathers. In the usual manner of musical performers, Krishna gladly accepts these presentations and places a feather atop the turban atop his head. Gentle animals, such as the deer and doves, greatly relish the transcendental entertainment presented by Krishna. And to get a good view, they flock to the peaks of hills. And then, as they watch the breathtaking program, they become stunned with ecstasy. So here's the peacock. The peacock in different traditions, the peacock is a symbol of rebirth. In Christianity, it's a symbol of the resurrection. Why is the peacock a symbol of resurrection? Because the peacock has about 200 feathers, and all of those feathers become, within a year, they all become replaced. These, some feathers even 6 feet long, very long feathers. And the peacock is offering his feathers to Krishna. And what is Krishna showing in his Vrindavan pastime? Actually, this section is called Purva Rag. Purva Rag. Purva means prior, previous. Raga, attachment. The gopis at this section, they haven't even met with Krishna yet. They haven't talked with Krishna. They've barely even seen him sometimes, but they've heard about him. How do you develop attraction to Krishna? From Krishna's devotees. So they spent time with the devotees of Krishna. Their brothers, the cowherd boys. They're hearing how Krishna, how he protected them, how he did this, how he did that. Sometimes they may see him from a distance. And this way, Purva Rag, infatuation, sweetheart, love starts to come. This great infatuation. Like in this world, we have so many mundane versions of that. Certain musicians and rock stars and young girls have their poster, have the guy's poster on the wall, or the guy has a girl's poster on the wall, or famous musicians, and they pine for them, dream about them. And so the gopis like this, they're actually, it's described that in their great meditation upon Krishna, they can even have, like as Prabhupada describes, this sanjaya, this spiritual vision. So they're actually envisioning, seeing what Krishna's doing. And they're seeing that Krishna is in the forest, surrounded by peacocks, and the peacocks are dancing. They're like, I wish I could dance for Krishna. I wish I could dance for Krishna. And so they have this great. Actually, when Krishna takes a step, it's when he steps. It describes that a lotus flower blooms, where each foot also. Sometimes when he would do that, he would dance, and a lotus flower Now one may say, well, lotuses don't grow on land. There are also the Kumuda lotus, it's a land-grown lotus. So yeah, they're feeling great infatuation. And Krishna is playing his flute. How does Krishna play his flute? Is it very high or is it low? Who knows? It's described as mridu, soft and low. So Krishna is playing his flute. He is also described here in the purport. He's singing very nicely. He's singing. He is also dancing. And the peacocks are dancing in reciprocation. Now the peacocks, they offer this presentation. And Krishna shows that in Vrindavan, he is so much controlled by devotion. Srila Prabhupada says, why do we cut our hair? What does he say in the video? He says, what is the reason for this? Why are heads shaven? In that video, he says, we think yes, to be clean. So in the Brahminical culture, he said nails, hair, these are not pavitra, what is it called? Dravya, pravitra dravya. You purify, pure items that are pure. And Krishna, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhakta priyachati. And he's mentioning all these items that are pure. Water is pure. Something is dirty, you can purify it with water. The leaf is specifically the tulsi leaf here. These are pavitra dravya, purified items. But here you see Krishna is being offered something that is not considered in Vedic culture to be pure. The feather. Sometimes a child picks up a feather. You say, wash your hands. Maybe there's salmonella. Wash your hands. So Prabhupada said, whether we should have, our nails should be too long, because you don't want to put your nails while you're cooking into the food that is impure. Hair should be nice and short before, especially like who likes to go to a restaurant and find a hair in their food. Ugh, impure. And you find like if you ever watched any type of cartoon when you were young, you'll find that when the witches want to make some kind of black magic, what do they put? Eye of bats, nails and hair, all these like items that actually they carry some kind of connection to the person, but they're considered like impure items. It's like if your house has hairs on the floor and nails and stuff like that, you might have bad dreams, because it attracts those who are attracted by impure things. We can keep our house very clean, and then we'll feel that kind of sattvic nature. But here the peacock is offering the feather. What is that verse we chant? Om apavitra pavitrova sarvavastam gotopiva yasmaret pundrikaksham sabhyahantara suchihi. Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu. So whether Om apavitra pavitrova, whether impure or pure, sarvavastam gotopiva, if yasmaret, if we just remember that Lord with pundrikaksham, lotus eyes, then everything becomes pure. So the peacock's feather, because they are completely engaged in Krishna's service, the peacock feather becomes pure. Krishna shows that, somebody, if I came over to you and I just gave you some of here's some hair from my legs here, put it into your hand. Maybe you won't. You probably won't even reach out and take this. Like, oh God, I don't want that. What to speak? Okay, let me put it in my hat. I put it on my head. But Krishna is showing, no, this is my devotee. They're so wonderful. They're so potent. They're so pure. I put the feather right on my head. What do when you try to conquer a country, you put the flag there. This is my country. And so Krishna shows, I am conquered by my devotees. And he wears the flag of his devotee. Actually, that's all you need if you want to draw Krishna. He was easily identified by these two things: Venu and Mayur. It's called for all the punk rockers. It's called Mor Punk. Mor is Moryuri, the peacock, and punk is feather. Mor Punk. And so Krishna, he wears this. These two things very easy to identify. You could just draw a flute and a peacock feather, and everyone, oh, that is Krishna. Actually, one time the devotees were, they asked Srila Prabhupada, which painting looks most like Krishna? And Prabhupada said, they're all Krishna. And the different artists. You had Jadharani, you had Ramdas Abhiram, his wife. You have all these wonderful artists. Which one of these looks most like Krishna? Said, it is Krishna. And so they said, okay, let's bring this to another level. So they brought this picture. It was practically like a stick figure done by one of the little kids. Okay, Prabhupada, which one looks most like Krishna? He said, it is Krishna. Don't you see? Peacock feather flute. That is Krishna. He is there. So, finishing the purport, Sanatana Goswami comments that because in Vrindavan, Krishna goes barefoot and can thus directly mark the earth with the symbols of his lotus feet, that transcendental land is more glorious than Vaikuntha, where Vishnu wears slippers. Once again, the verse. Vrindavanam sakibhuvo vitanoti kirtem yadevaki sutapadam bhujalabda lakshmi Govinda venam anumatta mayura nityam Prikshadri san avaratanya samasta sattvam. Oh friend, Vrindavan is spreading the glory of the earth. Actually, one of the pastimes of the Lord is that he likes to protect his devotees. And so the devotees of the Lord, the demigods, they went to the spiritual world. They broke out through the hole that was made by the toe of Vamanadev, of the shell of the universe. And they went to the spiritual world. There were some gopi guards there. They went to Goloka. And the gopi guards said, where'd you come from? Why are you here? And the demigods were confused. We don't know where we came from. We came from the universe. And the gopis were like, but which universe? Like, which one? And they were just kind of looking at each other like, the universe. Like, you guys are like a bunch of fools. You're in one house, not knowing there are many other houses next door. There's so many universes. You think your whole universe is just that's everything. There's so many universes. And so Vishnu, who's taking the role of the demigod in the group, he says, we are from the universe where a hole was made by the toe of Vamana as he made his two big steps. They said, oh, great, come, come, come. They let him in. And that's how they came and requested Krishna, please appear on earth. And so Krishna, he told Radharani, I will go. And she said, I cannot be without you. He said, please, then you come. She said, I cannot be without Vrindavan. And so this whole Vrindavan has been brought down from the spiritual world to this world. It's, as Prabhupada said, it's an embassy. When you go to the embassy of India, you're actually in India. The laws of America do not apply in that embassy. If you go to American embassy in India, then you are in America. It's oftentimes if somebody needs to take shelter, they've violated the law of some country, they may take shelter of their embassy if that embassy considers them worthy of shelter, and they may just stay in that embassy. So the Vrindavan is actually embassy of the spiritual world. It is Krishna's abode, appearing on this world, covered by a thin layer of Maya. Therefore, we may go and we see, okay, there's Loy Bazaar, there is some pig there, whereas devotees like Srila Prabhupada, they see just the spiritual world. Oh, friend, Vrindavan is expanding the glory of the earth. Having obtained the treasure of your lotus feet of Krishna, the son of Devaki, the peacocks dance madly when they hear Govinda's flute. And when other creatures see them from the hilltops, they all become stunned. So you hear this pastime where Krishna is playing he's in the forest, and the animals, they see him and they even stop chewing. They have some food in their mouth and they just amazed to seeing the beauty, and there's this beautiful pastime of Krishna. And so today is also the appearance day of Ramanujacharya. And so previously I shared some stories of Ramanuja, so I'll just share a little bit more. So Ramanujacharya, he left this world when he was 120 years old. He had established 74 centers of bhakti throughout India, mostly South India. Great Acharya. We have the 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas, 4 schools of bhakti. We have Rudra Sampradaya from Lord Shiva, Kumar Sampradaya from the 4 Kumaras, Brahma Sampradaya from Lord Brahma, and Sri Sampradaya from Goddess Lakshmi. And so each of these Sampradayas have their Acharya. Because at the time of Ramanujacharya, most of the intellectual who was holding the seat of intellectual superiority was mostly the non-theistic schools, Advaitic schools, schools that say that there is no God, that God is simply an illusion. He is simply an important figure of the illusion. Yes, engage in bhakti so you can become God, and then you give up your bhakti. This is that's why the Srimad Bhagavatam says, "Savaipam samparo dharma yato bhakti adhokshije ahaitaki pratihata yatmasu prasidati." It is not interrupted. It's not to get something and then it's over. It's a constant thing. Why do we want to engage in Krishna service? So we can internally engage in Krishna service. Why do we want devotion? Because we want more devotion. So Ramanujacharya, apart from his householders, he had 700 sannyasi disciples, 12,000 brahmachari disciples, and 300 renunciate lady disciples. And so one day, when he was young, he was a student of Yadava Prakash. Yadava Prakash was not a Vaishnava. He is from the Advaita school. And so he is Ramanuja is giving him an oil massage. And Yadava Prakash is commenting on the Chandogya Upanishad. In Chandogya Upanishad, let's see, what is it? Kashyapyam pundarikam evam akshane. So this verse from the Chandogya Upanishad is describing the beautiful eyes of the Lord, which has a reddish tinge on the edges. And being directed by the commentary by Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya is described in the Padma Purana to be Lord Shiva, who has the direct purpose of misguiding, to not give the full conception, but to misguide. His contribution is that he brought the Buddhist into the Vedic culture. Those who were attracted to Buddhism, he taught a Buddhistic version of Vedanta. So removing the conception of God, but still keeping that connection to the Vedas, which were not there in the Buddhist tradition. Because this Yadava Prakash, he's reciting this verse, and the verse is saying how he translate this in this horrible way. He says the eyes of the Lord is like the reddish rump of a monkey's ass. Kashyapas. What is this? What is it? Kyapyasam. Asana. Why is it called an asana? Because you put your kasyapana. Kapi asana. Kapi, monkey butt. This is how this impersonalist is describing this verse, just glorifying the beautiful eyes of the Lord. And he feels these hot tears being dripped on his back, the teacher. And he says, what is the problem? He said, my dear teacher, this is very offensive. That verse is describing the kapyasana, is describing a particular type of flower that drinks up water. It lives in the water, and it blooms. It is nourished by the sun. It's actually a lotus flower. That the Lord's eyes are like the red lotus, not a monkey's rump. And he gave all the Sanskrit proof for this. And so since that time, there was actually some tension between this teacher, Yadava Prakash, and Ramanuja. And at some point, Ramanuja decided to leave. All right. So I will stop here, see if there are any reflections, comments, or questions.
Bhima Prabhu.
Haribol Nitai Chand. What a wonderful lecture. I'm always engaged in, work during these lectures. Very tedious work of the lowest kind, cleaning animal stalls. And I tell you, this whole hour has passed, and I didn't even. I was in another world with your descriptions, and I was particularly moved by your revelation of the reveal that you had with Madhavananda, who I know personally, and him telling that story, and then you choosing a time, such timeliness, to inform the heart of this child that indeed you are in good company with Krishna, for he also was a foster child, but to whom the love of Yashoda made it no difference. So that was very moving, very touching how you arranged that with Madhavananda, who is a king of storytelling. And I'd also just like to say that well, actually, that's for now. That's all I'd like to say. So thank you very much, Prabhu. You make my work much lighter. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Haribol, Nityananda, Chandra, thank you so much for class. There are a couple things. I'm at one of the yoga studios I teach at Yoga Maya. And as you were talking about peacocks, our beautiful studio owner understands the essence of peacocks. I don't know if you can see on every door at Yoga Maya, there is a peacock handle. So as I was walking in the door, you said peacock, my hand was on the peacock. So I was just really appreciating that. But I was also, it's something, you know, that story I've heard many times about, you know, Mother Yashoda and calling out to Krishna and Devaki calling out, and Krishna comes to Mother Yashoda. And it always sort of makes my heart sad for Mother Devaki that, you know, he is my child and he doesn't come to me. But then I'm thinking, you know, we talk so much about that love and separation is actually the highest. So I'm thinking Mother Devaki, she actually gets this great love because she's separated from Krishna so much of the time. So she actually gets the benefit of that love and separation. So I was just thinking that because whenever I hear that story, my heart breaks for her. She is the mother and, you know, and she's away, but maybe she gets this love and separation, which could be even deeper in a way. So, but thank you for the beautiful descriptions. I was too, like, you know, I was like just seeing the peacocks dance in my mind. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. One little difference between the Yashoda's love and Devaki's love is that Devaki is often aware that Krishna is God. She's often aware of that. So she doesn't, he's not the absolutely needy child who needs my absolute protection and care. And so that Maya, the yoga Maya, is there to, you have Mahamaya is to create some distance between you and Krishna, some independence. You can do your own thing. You can forget that Krishna's God, so you can do your own, be in illusion. Yoga Maya is so you can forget that Krishna's God, so you can get a little closer. Any other reflections on the verse?
It's Darshan with Afterglow, please.
Anada Chimaya Sadhu.
Aripurusham No, I will. Give me a minute. Okay, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. So it's the afterglow. If there's any reflections or questions at this point, it's good to see you, Adam G. Very good to see your beard. I was missing it. Hare Krishna. Yeah, so many nuggets, everybody says. Adidas shoes, peacock feather, nails, elaborations. Wonderful, Nityananda Chandra. Great class. Thank you. When you clip your nails next time, I want some.
Gonna make a witch stew?
What's
Like
that? I
magic?
didn't hear that.
You gonna make some witch stew?
Yeah. Okay. So this is Sunday. Give it to Krishna and come back tomorrow. It was nice seeing you all, Nityananda Chandra Prabhu. Special ki jai to you for the class. Everybody liked it. You pleased the devotees, and it's nice seeing everybody. And come back tomorrow. We love you all. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.